Mind if we stop by the waterfall on this trip? I could use a few moments to unwind.
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once. But listen... So, in the interest of full disclosure, my relationship with the UC... I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon. They called him Ve Victus. The program I was a part of, it would secure the leadership of the UC military for a non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship. He and I are different on more than a few levels. No. They made a pretty grave miscalculation. The man I was cloned from, my father, Freestar Collective, and the things he did, well... So my involvement, I really appreciate you saying that. You know, while we've got a second, was there... Or if you've got any last-minute business to it. No telling how long. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were... The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. It became an unwritten rite of passage that the Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during... And the eyes were my parting gift. I know it's hard to know exactly. I'd just be honest about what you saw. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno-Warfare Team's Terramorph data. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but... Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject. Perhaps you could summarize for the cabinet...
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, they've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge, and possibly, seems at best, panic. And at worst...
I would remind the Chief Diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks...
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt, the Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however... I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far.
I'm uncomfortable opening the archives without gathering more information.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, what was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanners somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Rogan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there. Stop! That's it! We're trying to help everything we've got!
Thank you.
The way those people were acting.
I don't know. We tried to restrain them, but some of the other officers down there...
Pheromonic projection. Some terramorphs, it affects everyone differently, but some... You kill the morph, you break the hold. Let's do it.
That's unlocked.
Evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
spots. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
You might be looking for some backup.
You two have any experience with Terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here.
Surviving a full-on mental assault is...
We're not UC security. Your call. We're on the line.
It's over. Thank God. If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
they weren't kidding about you two. Certainly doesn't feel... I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before...
Not now. Okay? Whole building's on lockdown.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, Captain. Hadrian, it would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what your concerns about the Terramorphs.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. Now, today's events, you will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives. But to accomplish those goals, as such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want...
Yes.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies... The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be... We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. In exchange, So... I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't... Deputy McIntyre in the You should be able to find her in her office. And on behalf of the whole...
These orders... A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I heard you were instrumental in... I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to... Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor. We're going to do everything in our power to make... And that means first getting you into the archives.
Someone paid attention in current events. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency. UC.
Now, the UC is already on board. Get them both and you'll...
Very funny. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but...
And I do mean cooperate. Though that doesn't...
But it does mean we need to get you up... Who do you want to start with?
The good Ambassador Ratcliffe.
Now, officially...
Use your experiences as a member of the military
and who knows? But my suspicion is...
Certainly.
See, UC Intelligence has a recording device.
But getting caught trespassing is a...
So, if you are going to try and access the device...
Now, we recovered... But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might...
Name's Cameron Long. He works closely with the ambassador. And someone... All right. Here.
And take these.
Ambassador Balmore. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion he's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Now hold on a moment. There's no reason to assume we're better than they are, despite...
They certainly come with a checkered past, We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare. Scans of the facility show life signs.
Your task is to find him and...
The Varun delegation, it seems those plants have been allowed to flourish.
Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your... But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
It would at least be a speedier negotiation. But I of course...
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option. Here, this device... And fair warning...
Now, if you have additional questions, I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Be smart out there, Captain.
Right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
The Free Star Rangers. I'm Ranger Emma Wilcox. I was out planting in the fields when I saw some men approaching. They wanted to buy the farm. Their offer was so low, they said they'd give me time to think about it, but... Back behind the house are some canyons. That place is dangerous. If you're going after those men... Oh, there's one other thing.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Deputy. Keep that weapon handy. And your eyes sharp. Since these guys don't know we're after them, they're probably not making an effort. Several pairs by the look. Not too old either. Let's head down into the cave.
That part of the life form should prove useful.
Good eye, Deputy. Looks like we're heading in the right direction.
You better check your ammunition supply. It's clear that we're not the only ones exploring.
Nice to get out under the sky for a spell. Other things I don't get as much fuel for as I used to. tracker. You smell that? I bet my badge that's wood smoke from a campfire. They're close.
We should be careful. This bottleneck is the perfect place for an ambush.
You mean that whole thing is a setup to keep the... We're gonna have some fun.
Well now, Ms. Wagner called in the cavalry. I suggest...
Normally, I'd suggest you choose your words carefully.
Oh, it ain't exactly the farm that's special. Don't recognize the uniforms. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. Forgotten our sacrifice. We'll make them all remember. You think you're in... Well, I've got news for you. Oh, so... We've been found out! Don't let us leave here alive!
Set aside anything useful and just leave the rest.
Damn, that was a lot rougher than I expected. Let's talk. Find anything interesting? Let's see what we have here. So, their ship was stolen. Whoever pulled that off must have been one hell of a shipjacker. Well, I guess someone really wants that farm bad. Speaking of which...
I'll let you rummage through here.
Recycled air. Just isn't the same as...
What's the news? What happened? Well, it's good to see you're all right then. They must have been crazy or desperate. So who were they? Hope Tech. Sorry. They say the Rangers always get their man. I can't thank you enough. I'd hate... Of course.
If you have any more trouble, give us a call. All right, Deputy. Let's get back to the rock.
Journalistic integrity at its finest. SS.
You should try Filbert's beer. It's brewed in the city.
Not everyone gets to see you working the rock. If you're looking for the Rangers, check the upper levels or the canteen.
What's the story on...
That call we got from Wagoner Farm turned... Some men were trying to run the Wagoners off their land. We confronted them, and unfortunately, it came to violence.
You helped someone in need and came back alive. I agree. What did you make of these men who were... If that's true. Now, did you find anything that might... Hope Tech ships ain't it? That thief could probably tell us a lot about...
There's something else. They were dressed in Freestar militia uniforms. They also said something about being forgotten. Didn't you fight in the Colony War, Marshal?
The 1st Cavalry. I suppose it ain't impossible. The unit was pretty much wiped out. I don't recall how long the sentence was. The 1st Cavalry lost almost all their mechs. They were just about there when a ceasefire order came down. The commanding officer of the 1st disobeyed the order. They court-martialed him. Hell, it's up. The Hope Tech factory is in Hope Town on Pole. She can introduce you to Ron Hope. Just make sure you stay on his good side. Proud, stubborn, and smart. The ruling body that... The council members of the political and corporate elite of the... Good. This is your assignment now, Deputy. Meantime, I'll look... Good hunting.